Hello, myself Sunil Ramkrishna. Here, basically, we are discussing about the topic that is investment. So, one person told that here how many groups basically got connected. So, USA president got connected, American businessman basically got connected. Who is that basically? That I have already discussed. Set of businessmen. Then, basically, the World Bank came into the picture. Then, World Health Organization basically came into the picture because ultimately city becomes healthy when the city energy basically becomes healthy. So World Health Organization basically came by default into the picture. Then basically the human needs department basically came into the picture. Then software companies basically came into the picture. They all basically were not able to track the computer error basically. But actually it was supposed to track by the software industry basically. So that's mistake of software industry only. So they have to accept the mistake basically. So here one person basically told that how basically this can be solved basically because this error is already generated and by mistake basically space group got this information by any source basically because source is not there. Otherwise Microsoft basically might have tracked this error long before basically. That means source basically is not available in the market. So this basically is the source basically. But lots of universe groups say that basically we basically can solve any types of problem basically. So this is basically one problem basically. For example, how basically text box get display in Earth planet? That is basically through thousand cities energy. And how basically the text box will get display in universe basically. That is space center. That is basically the satellites basically sends the data basically of the power supply in the space environment basically. So there are basically many lots of people say that how basically the space center basically sticks at the same place basically. That are energies basically. How basically the Earth planet, each and every objects basically. For example, one building is standing. So it's not basically the magic basically. Lots of people say that it's a kudrati hai basically, but it's not a nature basically. The human basically the gravity basically you might have heard, right? Long before basically when Earth planet basically was just created. That time basically when you dump anyone, if one bike also basically in the land basically, then bike will basically fly. It will be fly in the air basically. Why? Because the gravity data basically was not dumped. So slowly basically the Earth planet, satellite, space center group, they all basically done the hard work and they basically created the data and now basically we can basically ride the bike basically in the Earth planet also basically. So roads are created like this basically lots of stuff basically are created. That is basically the normal thing. Like this everybody knows basically. So these all things are normal basically. So here think one person told that like this the power supply basically sends to the space center. Satellite group basically sends the data of the thousand cities in the format of space. That basically these all are the normal things basically. So here the things was how this problem basically is going to be solved because this problem is already occurred. One person told that if you get any disease, for example, one person told that Sunil basically you are trying for marriage. So you still basically you are not got any girl basically for marriage. Then one person told that before that basically you should get the job basically. Then only basically you are going to get marriage. You are going to marry with any girl basically. So one person told that basically this basically is problem. How basically Sunil Nair basically solves the problem. So one person told that first basically you need some money or to get the money basically source are basically jobs basically. My last designation was as a project manager. So when basically I will get the job, nice job basically, I will be doing the marriage and basically going to start the my generation. My generation means I basically plan two child. So that basically will happen. So 1% of this is the plan basically. Error is marriage not happening and job not getting. So these two are error basically. To solve the problem basically sources basically are there. Job portals are there, email IDs are there, Naukri.com is there, Monster is there. But that basically they basically has not helped Sunil Nair. So that is error basically. Here in Vadodara city, lots of Gujarati businessmen basically are there. They basically not helped Sunil Nair. So these all are error basically, the language error basically. That is Gujarati error. So here basically we are not talking about this basically here basically just taking as an example basically. So one person told that, and this is basically a real example. Basically, I am still basically not working, and I basically apply to many cities also and many countries also basically. So one person told that this is basically error basically, right? So one person told that yes, how basically is going to solve that basically also you displayed. So same way basically this error basically came, right? Text box basically which was not checked by the American government. That is by default American government only come into the picture. Why? Software is America basically. If anybody say that basically software, they will say America, America, America. And America means America president basically. So here one person told that if America president comes into the picture, so he basically don't have any money. He takes money from the businessman and the tax amount basically whatever things basically comes from him. And the main business basically is of software basically. He sells the software and then basically he earns the money. Tax amount is there, lots of monies basically are there. From there basically he gets the money. So that is basically one thing basically. So here basically one of the person told that everything basically is going to come in head of Sunil sorry, American president basically. So one person told that how basically space center will now basically after this I don't think basically the space center basically by mistake basically they watched this video. Then after that basically they are not going to trust America basically. And America basically will not trust Mumbai city basically. If they are trusting then basically they are more basically problem basically. So one person told that if one person basically checks the stuff basically, for example, I checked the stuff in Pune, so I get lots of problem basically in Pune. So one person basically is trying to check the stuff, trying to solve the softwares. He gets punishment basically in Maharashtra basically. So that basically things happen. So if you check anybody's stuff basically, for example, one person told that यार ये software बनाया है, so please check. Can you please check? If he checks and if he find basically error, so in Earth planet basically you get the punishment basically. But same thing basically it's here basically. Text box basically was not checked only basically. So due to that check basically not check the problem occurred. And in by default this basically USA is only the responsible group basically. Because they say that if they say that basically the we have given the task to India, so that is not going to work basically. We have given in 5 lakh crore to India, that is not going to work here basically. If you say that basically Microsoft is USA product, Microsoft basically was having control of each and every company, software company, but Microsoft was not aware about this text box basically that he was basically giving the subscription money in the form of tax or basically some other amount. That's why basically he was able to view the text box in his softwares. So in next video basically we are going to see